Know what you want to create that is guaranteed to sell before you create it. This is a great concept, guys, that has really been brought to fruition by the internet and how we market online. And so we use this strategy quite a bit around here, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So really, your product's got to do a couple of things, okay? Your product must solve a problem that your niche is experiencing, and a problem that your niche is experiencing in this very moment. And we'll share with you how you identify that. You also must move your buyer towards a solution of that problem. And finally, your buyer must achieve a result within your product. Your product has got to teach and yield a result. So when your buyer walks away from the product after using it, they had a very good interaction with you and they've actually achieved a result of their problems, okay? Now, how do you know what your niche really wants, okay? This is an important concept. We're going to cover these strategies, surveys and questions. We're going to talk about keyword research for all you analyticals out there. And we're also going to talk about the almighty seed launch that we use quite often around here, and that works very well. Now, we use all three of these tools to cross-reference one another so we know exactly what's going on with our niche before we build our product. Now, when it comes to surveys and questions, we've already discussed in earlier videos that on your fan page, when you prepare your audience to be launched to, right? Remember all this? You want to engage your audience, ask questions, use surveys to find out what's going on so you can keep them engaged. This is also going to give you insight into, the problems they're having, and really start to hone your products in from the very beginning, kind of get your ideas going as to what you might want to create for these guys. And we do the same thing on our website. You guys recall when we spoke about how to prepare your audience on your website as well. We're also engaging those folks. And within your autoresponders, certainly as you start to send autoresponders out, you're giving them good content, keeping a great story. Remember all the autoresponder conversations we've already had, and within those autoresponders, you can ask for comments. What do they think about some of the content you're sending to them, and you're going to start to reveal a trend of what's going on in your niche. That's a great way to do it. Now, the keyword research is something that's a little bit more precise when it comes to the internet. And we're going to talk about a couple of strategies here. One is the Google keyword research tool that we use quite a bit, and then cross-referencing that against search engine results. So I want to jump onto the keyword research tool with you guys straight away and show you what I'm talking about here. So to do so, I have to turn off the PowerPoint. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the PowerPoint off and grab a search page. Now, I've already typed this in our Google search, keyword research tool, all right in the Google search. And here you can see that it's going to come up here, keyword tool, Google, okay? So you want to jump into that keyword research tool, and it's going to open up for us. And here, you simply want to type in a phrase, okay? Now, a keyword, for those of you that don't know, is when you go to the internet and you type something in. Let's say you're working on your car and you run into a snag and you're not quite sure what to do next. You might type in that problem on the internet and you'll get some answers, right? Some forms, that sort of thing. When it comes to your demographic, I like to use examples because it really paints the picture. If you recall, in an earlier video, we were looking at some land pages, and we were looking at the Life Yoga World. Remember that, the Life Yoga? Let's use that as an example. When I sat down with the owner of Life Yoga, and we just started discussing her product, one of the questions I ask is, what's the #1 question that you get from your audience when you teach? And she says, well, I have a lot of aging athletes that come to me with a lot of problems. Okay, great. So we'll start there. So I type into a keyword research, aging athletes. And if you can't spell very well like myself, we have the spell checker, right? So I can get this spell checked properly. Aging athletes, and I'm going to go ahead and hit search. Okay. Now, for the keyword aging athletes, let me explain to you what we're looking at here. Competition, you have low, medium, and high. That means there's low competition for this keyword, That's good news, bad news, by the way, because low competition means that there's opportunity for you to capture that marketplace, that keyword. But it's bad news because if it's very low here, that means others, your competition is not selling in this keyword. This keyword is not selling for others. So it's kind of good news, bad news. You got to kind of play around with that. Global monthly searches. What this refers to is how many searches for this keyword are happening on a global scale. And local monthly searches, you guessed it, how many searches for this keyword are happening on a local scale, which means the United States, on a monthly basis. And I like to click this, which puts it in order for local searches. And you can see it's 390 local, 590 global, and it's low competition. I don't like those numbers. I like this to be somewhere in the 100,000 range per month, okay? That's a good, comfortable range that you know what's going on. 100,000 over here, I should say, all right? So now I'll go back to my client, and I'll say, okay, aging athletes, what exactly are you doing for these guys? And then she starts to reveal, well, you know, back pain, a lot of back pain, a lot of knee pain, you know, a lot of ankle pain, a lot of stretching, that sort of thing. So, okay, back pain. Let's focus on that one. So I type in back pain. It's this keyword, tool, okay? Then I'm going to come down here and hit search. And what we find is something very revealing. In the keyword back pain, you can see it's medium competition, which we like. We discussed that. It means there's money being spent on these keywords, but it's not highly competitive. That's awesome. And look what's going on here, you guys. 2,740,000 global monthly searches and 1,500,000 local monthly searches. This is a great keyword. I like that. So from there, we would then take this, and then these are derivatives of that one keyword. You can look down here, you know, why back pain, as back pain, back in pain. So why do we get back pain? Again, they're getting the same amount of searches there, but you can scroll further down, shoulder pain, medium. Okay, that's also fairly good with a medium. So that's another potential product we can build out would be for shoulder pain. But we really identified back pain here, and back pain is one word, also very nicely searched. But back pain as two words seems to be a home run as it applies to keyword. Now, if you take this little arrow right here and you drop menu it, you can do a Google search on it, Google Insights for search, exclusive term, or show me more of this, right? So we're going to click the Google search, and it's just as if we typed in the word back pain into a Google search, all right? So if you recall back to our earlier slide, this is a second strategy to do keyword research. So what we want to do is look at when someone types in that keyword, what is going on? Well, these here, as most of us know, these are the paid advertising sections, as are these over here. So people have paid for this keyword. So you want to look at what's going on in the paid, and certainly what's going on in the organic. So we just kind of look at what you know, lower back injury. So if we click on that, we will see what we're finding as a result of that keyword on that item. And this is taking a while to come up, so let's just here we go. So here, this is a Woodland Healthcare page with an internal search for orthodontics and podiatry. So this is conventional medicine, right? And it's not targeted. So once you clicked on that, because again, they bought the keyword, so it doesn't have to be targeted if you buy it. You just have to have money to spend at it, right? So not that you know, important for us, because it's not that relevant, I should say, regarding what we're doing. So if we look over at the organics, here you have WebMD. When we select WebMD, you can see that it's given you definitions, okay, and a few blog articles, you know, how to get your medical records, again, irrelevance. So I like what I'm seeing, because what you want to do is say, how can I bridge the gap between what I can offer and what's going on the internet with this keyword? And you can see the top two searches for this particular keyword, for this particular niche, is basically Western medicine, definitions, is really what's going on here. Okay, so my client here is a yoga instructor, and she uses yoga therapy, so she can bridge the gap between what's going on here, the Mayo Clinic, Wikipedia, symptoms, diagnosis, treatments, prevention, a conventional doctor. So you can see quickly that back pain is an awesome keyword. And that, coupled with what she is getting in her questions and surveys, begins to reveal that if she built a product on back pain, identifying back pain and showing you yoga therapy strategies to relieve back pain and how to stay back pain free, I think that would sell quite well. Okay, and we're doing all this research before we actually even build the product. All right, very good. So let's bring back our PowerPoint. Fire that guy back up. And I apologize, we had to back out of that, but here we go. So keyword research, we looked at the Google keyword research tool, very effective, and then we cross-referenced that against search engine results, and we found that back pain is a very marketable product to this niche. Okay, so next, the seed launch. All right, now seed launch has been very successful for us. Seed launch is a live, open forum with your list where you reveal all. Super effective to find out what your niche wants in the moment they want it. You can do so via teleseminar. You can do it via webinar. And you can do it via email. Okay. Now, I want to demonstrate just slightly for you in my little pen here how this works. So I have to end this slide just for a moment. I'm going to pull up my pen and just kind of explain to you what I'm talking about here when we use these terms, okay? So, again, seed launch is a live open forum, okay? So basically, you're going to say to your niche, and the way we do this is, and we're going to talk a little bit about launching, but just in a nutshell, you want to get an ad out there, okay? And it can be on Facebook or it can be on the internet at large. You want an ad that's going to drive to an opt-in page. We're going to go into just a little more detail in the next video, but you want to drive it to an opt-in page, okay, where you're going to put them on your list. All right. Basically, the ad's going to say something in this case for seed launch, basically like using the yoga example, you know, Life Yoga founder conducting free open webinar, free open discussion. Click here to learn how. Or Life Yoga yoga founder reveals all for free. So they click here, and basically you cross-test this ad and all that stuff, and they land on a land page. And we're going to have bullet points of the results they're going to achieve on this webinar and an opt-in form. From that opt-in form, right, they're going to go to a thank you page that's going to have the link to, let's say she does it on a webinar, to the webinar. Then on the webinar, guys, it's basically she's going to be like, okay, so, you know, she's going to reveal, ask your questions here, and they're going to bring their questions. And if she starts to see a lot of back pain questions, then she knows she's on target. But let's say that, you know, she starts to see a lot of questions on, let's say she starts to see a lot of questions on leg pain or how to stretch properly or something else. And through this, she starts to reveal that her demographic has other questions that she didn't know. Well, that's going to be great because then she knows more about what to do. So these seed launches, in congruence with the other strategies, are extremely effective when it comes to knowing what your demographic is looking for in the moment that they're looking. Okay, so let's get this back up and review that. So the seed launch, again, is a live open forum with your list where you reveal all. You can do it via a teleseminar. You know, teleseminars, all you have to do is Google free teleconference lines and you'll get some for free. Webinar, there are also some free webinar services, 30-day trials, that sort of thing. Just Google online webinar and you'll get those services. And you can do a seed launch through your email. And the way this is achieved is exact same strategy, only you're going to be live at your email and accepting questions. Now, this is a little bit more challenging only because you can't reflect real time on your demographics questions, which really starts to get a conversation going in the room and you get some really good stuff. So seed launch, super valuable. Now, We're going to talk about the almighty concept of getting paid before you actually build your product, okay? This is how all the pros do it, and this is how we want to teach you guys as well. Now that you know exactly what your niche wants in the exact moment they want it, the next thing to do is to create a launch sequence to sell your product to your niche before you create it. And we're going to discuss in the next video how to do the launch sequence, but certainly you know what they want, and now you know what the product's going to be. And you want to do it before your niche. And this way you are actually paid to create your product. Again, this is how all the large internet marketers do it. This is how you guys should do it. So when you actually sit down and create your product, you've been paid to do so. All right. Finally, create your new product perfectly as you've just sold a mass quantity of them during your launch. Let's say you sold 100 of them, 1,000 of them, 10,000 of them. Okay, so you now have a definitive amount of product that you've just sold, and now you sit down and you create that product. And then the last thing you need to do is simply fulfill your orders. Okay, so we're going to expound on the launch sequence, how to do so, and how to build your product. But for now, I just want you to understand exactly how you identify what product that you're going to build, and we're going to show you how to launch that.